Hello everyone. Well, here's the third part of the manhwa about Neanderthals. If I haven't seen the first two, then I'll leave the links in the attached comment. Enjoy your viewing. We arrived at the place. The forest was spread out near the mountains that loomed on the horizon. Hiding in dense bushes, we waited. The situation is normal. The smell is normal. King, the neighborhood is quiet and peaceful, we'll wait a little, and we can go out. Xiao Xiong is an excellent scout. He even put something like a chicken on his head. Standing up, I calmly said. There's no need to worry so much. If you grumble, you'll catch up with the clouds. Don't worry guys, I scared off that saber-toothed tiger, I'll protect you. The guys seemed to cheer up a little. Well, the king, from that peak you can see the gathering place of the herd of bulls. Xiao said and pointed to one of the peaks. All right, lead the way. Climbing to the top of one of the rocks, Xiao said. Press down to the ground like me. Be careful. Looking at how he behaves, you can't say that we are tracking bulls. Don't make a big deal out of a molehill, Xiao. But still, I pressed myself slightly to the ground following his advice. Are there other animals here besides a herd of bulls? Looking out from behind the top, I was delighted. This place is what you need. Surrounded by mountains, like a fortress wall, there is a valley divided by a river in half. There were several woodlands, and the soil seemed to be fertile. And that smell. It's the smell of the sea. I said. The system. Open the card. After opening the card, I was left convinced. There are mountains on 3 sides, and the sea on 1 side. This place is ideal for the construction of the first city. Suddenly, Xiao dragged me back behind the rock. What is it? I asked. Your Majesty, don't speak so loudly, otherwise the black bulls will hear you. A little puzzled, I still decided to agree. Good. I'll be careful. Basic survival guide. Search for illustrations activation. Beep. Beep. The result of the scan. There are 3 types of plants. There are 2 kinds of animals. Plants. Green sunflower. A herbaceous plant, the root can be used as a medicine to relieve abdominal pain. Dragon whiskers. Liana. The juice is poisonous. It can paralyze a person. The tree of longevity. Deciduous wood, high-quality wood, has been growing for about 100 years. Animals. Gray squirrel. It feeds on nuts, the meat is juicy and tender. Wasp. The bite is toxic, 5 bites can be fatal. Having carefully read everything described by the system, I was surprised. Turning to Xiao, I asked. So where are those big black bulls you were talking about? Xiao looked out over the cliff in fear and pointed to one of the many groves spread out in the valley. They're right behind that grove. There's a big bend in the river there, I can take you there. Good. Everyone be on the alert. And we went after Xiao. Half an hour later. It's here. Hurry up, keep up. We are the king, but I'm afraid we will be discovered sooner. Listening to the surroundings, I was surprised. Isn't it quiet here? What's so scary about these bulls? I used the scan again. Recorded. Plants, 3 species. Small animals, 1 species. The directory update is completed. What? Is that all? I let out a sigh of relief. I'm worried that there might be worse monsters here, since there isn't even a single calf nearby. Xiao couldn't have been mistaken? Hey, Xiao, maybe you remembered wrong? But when I turned around, I saw a little guy walking backwards on the ground pointing somewhere behind me. What? Is the ebony moving? But Xiao quickly brought me back to normal. Hi. He shouted and pointed somewhere up. Looking up, I realized the complexity of our situation. Oh, shit. A huge humanoid with blue stripes on his body was walking just a couple of meters away from us. Damn. What is this? Mew. He let out a loud scream. He had huge horns on his head. The system, as always, prompted in time. A black horned bull. Mammal, Artiodactyl, a subfamily of cattle, mainly herbivores, with strong territorial awareness. And this is a fucking bull? While I was standing in utter incomprehension, the voice of the former leader of the settlement was heard from behind me. Your Majesty. His voice was shaking like never before. Are we really going to hunt these creatures? My voice wasn't too sure right now, but I answered anyway. Sure. Gathering all my willpower into a fist, I made the strongest possible face. Sit in ambush, and I'll go scout the situation. And I went straight behind the tree. King. He's so beautiful. It was heard from behind. Going behind a tree, my tears rolled onto my face. Whimper, whimper, I don't want them to die in vain. We need to come up with something. Right now, I can only rely on those 2 abilities. I thought looking at the so-called bulls. He's 3 times bigger than me. It is worth finding a calf to train on it. Looking at how a huge bull is loitering back and forth and making terrible noises, I involuntarily pressed myself into a tree. He looks very scary. And this is what they call bulls? Disturbing during meals is bad. Still, I found a small bull. This one looks the smallest. I'll try to negotiate first. Suddenly they have a complacent nature. Then you won't have to risk your life. Coming out into the light so that the calf would notice me, I applied all my diplomacy skills. Hello, brother calf. Are you eating weed? Delicious? Seeing me, the bull did nothing at first, but just watched. I smiled back at him and tried not to show aggression. He wasn't angry, was he? It seems that the plan was not very good. But as soon as I thought about it, the calf roared all over the clearing, so that even the birds rose from the trees. His blue planes turned into red, and naturally all the bulls began to look in my direction. Naturally, after a moment, the whole herd was already rushing at me. I was just asking. Don't jump on me right away. I shouted, first running away, and then swimming away, across the river. Why be so angry? Looking behind all this, my tribe was furiously discussing what was happening. Wow. He deserves to be our king. I decided to provoke the whole herd. He's not afraid of anything. Look, the king has reached the high wall. There's a dead end. What do you know? The king is going to surround them. However, my plan was completely different. Running up to the wall, I jumped first on one ledge, then on the next. But suddenly, hanging on one of the ledges, he began to shake. Hey. What is it? Looking down, I saw a herd of bulls beating against a rock. Several of them even lost consciousness. Apparently they braked late. Haha. If you can, come up here. It would be best to knock you out. Mew. Mew. They roared furiously. It seems that this rock will not withstand their weight. They won't get in here. The bulls stood for a while and then went home. Phew. I think I'm safe for now. When I get back today, I need to tell all the hunters about it and also give them weapons. But how do I get down now? Those raging bulls are waiting for me down there. There is only one way out. I will continue to climb up and I will go the roundabout way. At the same time I will record the view from above. After climbing to the top after some time, I was again surprised by the view that opened there. A valley surrounded by mountains and the sea. I'm going to build my city here. And then the empire. This game is just beginning. I firmly decided, looking at the horizon. My subjects were still watching the bulls. And why is the herd of bulls coming back? And where is our king? He wasn't trampled, was he? The former leader of the tribe started climbing the tree. No. I have to find a way to get the king's axe. Suddenly, my axe flew straight into the tree next to him. Ai. He cried out. And I slowly approached the tribe and began to speak. Shigu, you're a brave man. Do you want me to die? Hooray! It's the king. The whole tribe rejoiced. Shigu bent down, asking. My king. How did everything go? Are these bulls strong? Without paying attention, I said. I'm going to eat beef to replenish my strength. While saying this, I pointed to one of the bulls. Don't you want to try? But Xiao immediately objected. Forget about it. They cannot be defeated. And Shigu immediately confirmed it. Yes, forget it, they are too tough for us. Looking at them, I made the scariest face of all. And then he said in a terrible voice. Don't you understand me? You need to answer simply yes or no. Yes. Yes. The crowd shouted. Good. I said, taking out an axe from a tree. And then raising him above the ground, he added. Starting today, I will teach you how to create powerful weapons, as well as advanced hunting techniques. In 3 days, we'll deal with them. I announced solemnly. Good. Hooray. My tribe exclaimed. In the meantime, we are back to the old place. Ha. With one powerful blow of the axe, the tree was cut down. Wow. Dozens of eyes were watching me, and everyone was shocked by what they saw. King. This tree is not edible, there is no fruit on it, why did you cut it down? Shigu asked. Everything is very simple. I answered. This is the material for making weapons. Watch carefully how I do it, it will be useful to you in the future. To begin with, choose a wooden stick about 2 meters long. Sharpen one end. Voila. System alert. You have successfully invented a new weapon, Technology 1. Current characteristics. Physical form. 2. Power. 3. Dexterity. 2. Authority. 0. Technology. 1. Ownership. Missing. This is much better than the points for completing tasks. But I do not know what the technology is for. So, this is called a spear. It is used to pierce. Or else. After these words, I raised the spear to the level of my head and aiming threw it into a tree. Or to throw. The spear thundered into the tree, leaving small cracks on it. Wow. The eyes of many people shone. Well, something like that. Shigu examined the spear that had entered the tree. The king. This spear seems to be a very powerful weapon. Previously, we just picked them up, we didn't know that it was possible to make such a thing out of sticks. We want to try the king. I was plastered from all sides. Hey, calm down, you'll try everything. Shigu. I give this spear to you as the former head of the tribe. Thank you, king. So, make more spears, and then we'll start training. Less than 2 hours later, the camp was already filled with the sounds of training. Mostly it was sparring. Many stood with spears in their hands. Wow, what a long white and durable. I sparred with 2 guys from the tribe. So, attack. Nodding to each other, they simultaneously rushed to the attack. However, it was clear that they lacked practice with the spear. After several unsuccessful attacks and successful evasions on my part, I knocked out one and struck the blunt side of the spear into the chest of the second. Everyone froze. You're dead, I said. What? If the spear had a point, you would have already died. Who? The guy was breathing heavily. And then, sitting down on the ground, he said. The king is like a god, we cannot overcome him. That's because you don't know how to handle wooden weapons and still rely on brute force. The advantage of such a spear is its pointed tip, use it and aim at the enemy or prey. Skills require training, so now javelin throwing is more suitable for you. Approaching the stone, I drew a likeness of a target. See the target? After walking some distance away, I said. Stand here and throw the spear. Whoever gets there first will get a spear from me as a gift. I'm the first. Shigu shouted and swung his spear to throw. He threw the spear with force and hit the stone so hard that he pierced through it. Powerful, but we need to work on accuracy. The next hunter is Xiong. And while I was saying that, a spear fell right at my feet. Did you just throw that at me? Haha. My fault. Next. Apparently these guys have no talent. I was in a hurry. However, as soon as I thought about it, the spear flew past me and hit the stone exactly in the center. Wow. The guys shouted. Straight to the center. Did you throw a gun? Yes. The guy in the dog hat answered. Did I win the king? That's right, keep it up. I said, handing him the spear. These 2 spears are yours now. Hooray. Suddenly, the monster girl that was sitting in the tree and watching screamed. The king. Trouble. A big beast is moving towards the forest. Everyone take your weapons. I commanded. Be ready for the battle. Careful, he's coming. Use this opportunity to improve your skills. Watch out. A huge overgrown boar jumped out of the forest. He was clearly in a bad mood and was rushing straight at us. Everyone listen to me. We will catch this beast. I said, pointing the spear in his direction. A huge creature jumped out at us. All attention. Surround him. On my command. I pointed my spear at the beast and charged straight at the beast. Stopped. The spear pierced his muzzle. This is a rare opportunity to practice. Guys. Throw spears at his vulnerable spots. Yes. The guys shouted and threw spears. The creature clearly didn't like it. It screeched off the spear I was holding it with. Damn. The spear broke. The boar was about to attack us, but a gun threw a second spear and hit him right in the eye. Why the boar retreated with a squeal. And he really has the skill. Shigu, guys, it's your turn. I exclaimed. And the spears flew at the creature in the same second. Meanwhile, Xiao sat on a branch directly above the creature. It seemed that the animal realized that it was in a desperate situation and decided to run away, right through me. But I was expecting this. Taking my axe out of the inventory, I cut off the boar's limb with a deft movement. Xiao. Your turn. Yes. The next moment, he threw himself off the branch and plunged his spear into the creature with all his weight. It was maturing. System alert. Attention. The monster got angry. He got angry. Dodge. I commanded. Save yourself. Shouted Xiao, who had been hanging on the monster's back all this time, holding only his own spear. He's attacking. The king. Don't go to him. Someone exclaimed. But I was already rushing towards the creature. Ha. Jumping, I raised the axe over my head. And after a moment, I delivered a sweeping blow. Dust covered the battlefield. The king. You're alive. Rather, we need to check. But as soon as the dust settled, they saw me standing on the monster. Don't shout like that. That the soul has gone to the hills? Hahaha. I'm here. You all did well. Today we will have a big feast. Hooray. Long live the king. Turning around, I saw Xiong lying on top of the monster, still clutching the spear in his hands. He groaned. Food. Cool. Xiong, give me your hand. I said, handing him mine. You're doing great this time. Thank you, king. I seem to have touched him to the core. A gun. I shouted. That's right, boss. This is also your merit. You will be able to go with me to all subsequent hunts, and I will also create a new weapon for you. Wow. A gun exclaimed and even jumped with happiness. After the battle, the rumor talked about different things. They say our king has the power of a god. He cut off the boar's head with one leap. Of course, the king could not have cut off the boar's head without my help, Shigu said. Meanwhile, an overgrown girl passed by them and carried a huge piece of meat. Oh, this piece of meat is so big. Give it to me. No. She replied. I specially left it for the king. The king. Eat up. Do you eat like this? I mean, right? Is something wrong? But you used fire, so why are you eating raw meat again? Ah, that's because last time we didn't have time to save the source of the fire. It turns out that the fire was accidental? Yeah. Bad. Fire is the beginning of human civilization. Scaring off wild animals, a safer and more comfortable existence, cooking. The subsequent development of civilization is inseparable from fire. They are even more behind than I thought. The realization that cooked food on fire is much tastier. I think I'll have to teach them how to make a fire. Come with me, I know a way. The tip that broke off will do. I said, noticing the broken part of the spear. Everyone over here. I'll teach you something else. I walked over to the split log and stuck a part of the spear in there. You need to add sawdust to the recess of the trunk and rub it with your hands. Like that. I said, rotating part of the spear. Be patient. Some time passed, and now, the first smoke, and then the fire. Hooray! Our king is God. People exclaimed. Who? Now there will be no need to eat raw meat. God of fire. God of fire. I want the whole world to know that the king has subdued the fire. Shigu shouted. No need. Shut your mouth. System alert. The technique is invented. Extraction of fire. Technology 10. Current characteristics. Physical form. 2. Power. 3. Dexterity. 2. Authority. 0. Technology. 11. Ownership. Missing. Wow, 10 points at once as a reward? It looks like accumulating technology points is easier than I thought. Only here I do not know what use they are. With these thoughts, I poked at the technology column. System alerts. Technology points can be used to identify rock paintings. Each time 10 points will be spent for identification. Exactly. Remembered. It was a reward for the mission. With the help of rock art, they communicate and transmit information. You need to spend technology points to understand the inscriptions. Really? The king. I found that this boar had signs of feeding. I assumed that there might be cubs nearby, so I spent time looking for them. And eventually I found them. The shelf quest has been launched. Domestication of animals. Task. Capture the cubs of the wild boar, make them livestock. Reward. A small treasure chest. Cookbook. Are you accepting the quest?